Congressman Jeff Van Drew. Congressman, you heard that report. Do we need this unit?
No, of course we don't. You know what those folks need, particularly in the areas they're talking about? They need to know that they're going to be safe and they have enough police, which they don't. They need to know that they're going to be able to afford to put a meal on the table, hopefully to be able to find a job and to do good things in their community. This is just another wacky idea. Every day, every week, every month, it's just more and more. Our country is upside down. And you know, the Department of Justice, what they should be worrying about, how about the crime wave that's occurring in the major cities all around our country? Do you think maybe that's something they should think about? Or should they maybe think about what's going on with Hunter Biden's laptop and find out what the real story is there and how the communist Chinese were mixed in and their energy companies? Maybe that would be something good that would help our country. This is just another form of political nonsense.
This DOJ unit is coming after the Biden White House launched this disinformation board at Homeland Security. We hear, they're saying it's basically they don't want the wrong messaging going out into Central America, that's what this board is about. But conservatives are saying, wait, they're going to stretch it. We don't even know what climate czar John Kerry is doing with his office and who's on the payroll there. He's stonewalling media requests like the Boston Herald's FOIA requests on that. So the point you're making, I think, is about all these units are popping up and House Homeland Security Republicans sending a letter to Mayorkas saying, who's going to be on the staff? We've got 20 Republican governors potentially suing over this. So what is all this kind of like weird make work going on in Washington? You know what I mean? We've got so many government workers that could be doing this job. What is this?
You're exactly. One thing that we don't need is to spend more money and more bureaucracy, but especially because some of this is dangerous. It's going to be used as a tool to create winners and losers. It's going to be used as a tool to hurt conservatives. Mayorkas just is not even able to lie well. He lies, but he doesn't do it well. House Homeland Security is my committee. And I asked him, as I mentioned to you before, a lot of questions. He can't answer any of them. He can't answer them truthfully. He has no idea what's going on the border, so he says. He has no idea when he actually lets Title 42 go, what's going to happen, and a host of other issues that he can't do anything about because he has no ability or no desire or both. And yet now launches this czar, this, person who's going to be in charge of misinformation. She's the purveyor of misinformation. She's the one that said the Russian hoax really existed. She's the one that said there was no laptop. She's the one that's saying we shouldn't do anything about it. I believe, I really do, that it's going to be used to actually try to squelch conservatives, their thought process. They're scared what's going on with Twitter. They're scared of us coming in and maybe opening it up. That's the real deal. This is like something in 1984 or communist Russia.
Let's watch White House Press Secretary Psaki refuse to answer questions and dodge questions about Biden's new disinformation. Or Nina Jankowicz, watch this.
There's this woman, Nina Jankowicz, who is going to be in charge of the board. She has said that she thinks the Hunter Biden laptop is Russian disinformation. So should we look forward in the future to her censoring internet traffic about the Hunter Biden laptop?
I think I noted exactly what the objective of the board is, including continuing the work of the prior administration. And the woman you noted has extensive experience and has done extensive work addressing disinformation.
Okay, why not just answer the questions? Again, watching and listening to this, we've said it before, it's like fighting with a dozen seagulls. Why not just answer the questions?
Because if you answer the questions, inevitably it's going to lead you to the truth. They don't want the truth. We're in trouble right now in the country. The country, and you stated that well before when you were speaking to a different guest, this country right now, we've never been where we are. I really want people to understand this. We have the greatest challenge we've ever had since the Civil War, and we better stand up. We better fight hard in a good way. We better stand for freedom and democracy and our Constitution. What's happening to these judges is shameful. So many things that happen every day and every week are shameful. And, people are depressed about it. People are really worried about the future of America. Most people, most good people are.
Congressman Van Drew, thanks for joining us. Come back soon.